Hello, my name is Christopher, and I'm about to start on this album, which is a tribute to my mama, Murphy Henry, and it's going to be hello. It's my wife Brooke, and it's going to be an all-star cast, mostly all-star, all-star, but mostly female. Tribute to her spirit and musicality and songwriting, tune writing, and so I'm just about to start on the very first track here, which is I Ain't Domesticated Yet. Rhonda Vincent's scheduled to be singing it. I've got a mountain of work to do before leaving for Nashville tomorrow. Hoping to also work with Lauren and Leanna Price and Lindsay Lou, and yeah, so I'm gonna try to do a little bit of checking in here with the making of the album. That's gonna be about 18 or 20 tracks. Maybe I want to do just, the greatest hits. There's so many. So what I've got here is the original track lined up in Cubase, and I'm gonna map everything to the original. You can hear the click track there. So I'm gonna program the bass, and I was hoping to get women to play it on all the parts, but I'm probably gonna end up doing a good bit of myself due to so there's, I guess, maybe 6 weeks to do 20 tracks with women from all over the country, and so I'll probably be doing some parts myself.
I'm a Roman mama, patent pending, I ain't domesticated yet.
So yeah, Tina Furtado's in, Lizzie Long is in, Malia Furtado is in, Marcy Markser, particularly Kathy Fink, are in, Alice Gerard is in, the Hicks sisters are in, we get Nancy Pate, who sang a lot of Tim in the Red Murphy and Company band, to do a couple, and yeah, I don't leave anybody out. Who else am I thinking about? Yeah, I can't think of that. But anyway, I'm gonna get to work, and we'll check in before long. All right, so that went unexpectedly well. I did play some pretty rough banjo on it, and it's really fast. It's over at 160, I think. And yeah, so that was interesting. That's a little rough. But I had a great conversation with Lizzie Long, and I just called her up and said, because she's from Georgia and she's a great banjo picker, and the little Roy connection, Lewis family, all that. And I wanted her to be the most prominent banjo picker on the project, because I really love her picking. And he said, well, that's good, because I learned my first 5 songs from her. I was like, I didn't say, that's probably one reason I like her picking so much. But little Roy told her to take Mom's tapes, and so she did. She's a great picker, so that's awesome. And I was corresponding with Lindsay Lou on song selection, and the Price sisters on key for Darling Daughter, and So What If You Did Drink a Little. So I'm gonna start on probably the Darling Daughter, and yeah, so really happy about how it came off. I put rhythm guitar on it, some mandolin, and I'm just marveling at how good, because I finished my rhythm tracks and listening to them, and they just don't have the life and the spirit that and the tightness that Mom and Dad and Tuck, and I'm not sure who's playing bass on that, but it's good. And Mom's banjo picking just so good. I can't play that fast. It's just, it's pretty rough, missing chords and just like hack rolls. So I don't know what I'll do to get to the point where it's palatable for Rhonda, but hopefully, between one thing and another. Anyway, I'm happy with how it's going so far, and on to the next one. Okay, just got done finished laying the rhythm tracks and doing the tempo mapping for the Darling Daughter, and one of the first major considerations has come into the field of awareness here, which is that would it be better to just track it out to a steady click, or to try to follow the rhythm and all the breathing ebbs and flows of the original recording, because that would be hard to predict. I do like, the idea of being able to, follow the original tempo dynamics, but just not knowing them, that'll be tricky, so I don't know if it's better to straighten everything out to a straight click, steady click, or to try to keep doing it this way and kind of massage the parts to breathe where the original recording was breathing. So these are the things that we learn as we're going along. So I'll probably make a decision about that here pretty soon. Howdy neighbors, it is an absolutely gorgeous day here in the county. What county are we in? This is Nashville County. I can't even remember, I used to live here, Davidson County. At my buddy Tommy's house, and just about 20 minutes before the Price sisters are getting here, Lauren and Leanne, they're gonna sing on Darling Daughter and Just Remember Where You Could Be. And then, so I communications, always tricky, people have busy lives, all this kind of stuff. I hadn't heard from someone for about a week, and then all of a sudden, they sent me a message, hey, I'm in the studio, can you send the tracks? I was like, whoa, okay, it's bare bones, but I went ahead and sent it last night about 10 o'clock. And so that was good to hear from that person. And then Lindsay Lou is coming here tomorrow at 12 to do, what is it? It's How They Love to Sing, Hallelujah, How They Love to Sing. So I tracked that out today, hopefully get the Price sisters to play on that, some twin or triple fiddle. And so that's good. Really excited about that. Good to see my buddy Tommy here. I've been here many times doing a lot of music work. It's got a good vibe. Beautiful magnolia tree. This reminds me of Gainesville, Florida growing up. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be leaving here with 4 tracks, and there's a possibility I may get someone else from Nashville, very excellent young woman, singer, to do So What If You Did Drink a Little? So we'll see how that goes. And so about 15-20 minutes from the first tracking session with the first woman in bluegrass to sing on this project. So I'm really excited, and that's all for now. Well, hello. I have so much to tell you about and update you with new information. So this morning, let's talk about last night. So Price sisters, amazing. They just did so great. Got 2 lead vocals and a mandolin on another part, twin fiddles, and so enjoyed working with both of them. It was professional and talented and polite and easy to work with. That was just fantastic. Way to start. All right, so last night I was feeling in a great mood. Yesterday was the first day of spring, the equinox, and I was doing some meditation, chanting, and I was meditating. I got a text from Rhonda Vincent saying that her track was done. Fantastic, haven't heard it yet, but I'm looking forward to hearing it. And then this morning, my buddy Tommy, I'm recording at Tommy's house. This is Tommy's house, yeah? Tommy from Ball and the Mash, used to live with him up in Paducah. Anyway, I had Lindsay Lou scheduled to come over at noon, and I was just, getting up, felt great, had some coffee, breakfast, came outside to smoke the pipe. I don't inhale anymore, I just use it for protection and prayer. And smoked the pipe, and then I went to open the door, and the door was locked. Didn't have my keys, didn't have my phones, didn't have my shoes. And so I was just standing here, I was like, oh, anyway, long story short, a little bit shorter, Lindsay got here and went back into town and got Tommy's number through mutual friends and gave me a spare key and came back. But I got to visit with Lindsay in the car ride, because it was about an hour driving or whatever. We'd have gotten to catch up like that, had we just been working on the track, and that's it. So that was nice. Interesting how the universe works. And so we came back here, and she did Hallelujah, How They Love to Sing, and just beautiful singing. Really expressive, interpreting it in her own way, but still so close to the original. Super cool. And then, so then I went to go get my microphone repair, KM84, dropped one when I took it to record with Peter up in Minnesota, dropped it on a concrete floor. Definitely not the same as dropping an SM57 on a concrete floor. Anyway, I believe the capsule was damaged because it lost some of the high frequencies. Now it doesn't match the other one that I have. So I've been talking to this place, which I thought was Vintage King, and a buddy that was playing with Tommy at his rehearsal yesterday after the session with Lindsay. Tommy's good friend from back in the day in Salem. Cool, very successful producer, nice guy, super nice guy, great musician, Ryan. He wanted to meet me at Vintage King. This is like appointment only type situation. Anyway, we get there and, go in, and I'm like, hey, I'm here to get back. I talked to James, and they're like, I got James on the phone. They're like, James, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, oh, you guys got my emails out. And I was showing them to the guy who was helping me, and he's like, yeah, we're not the mic locker. So somehow I had completely gotten the wrong place in my mind, for who was going to fix this in the mic lockers in Franklin, 40 minutes away, and they were going to be closed, or I wasn't going to be able to look at my stuff by the time I got there. Anyway, so I got to have a nice lunch with Ryan and catch up with him, and feel like I got a bro for life. So it's just interesting how the universe works. You think you got these plans, but then you're like, no, you need to have these conversations and have these, connections with your friends, and then you can continue with your work. And so throughout that whole process, I had gotten into touch with a young woman in town, tried to get in touch with someone to do another song. Then I thought of Phoebe Hunt, who's one of my favorite singers. And so her husband is Dominic Leslie, one of my favorite mandolin players. And so I sent down a message, got Phoebe's number, sent her a text. This is like last minute. I was like, can we do a session like today or tomorrow? She's like, I have time tomorrow. So I sent her Life and Liberty and So What If You Did, Drink a Little. And so she's going to check those out. Hopefully let me know which ones she's going to do. And hopefully we'll have a session tomorrow with Phoebe, who's a great fiddle player too. So it's all coming together. I'm super excited. And beautiful springtime day here. And things are just going as well as possibly could go. Despite, having, gotten locked out of the house and all these different things. It's life. But, like I said, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have gotten to visit. And if it hadn't happened with the mic place, we wouldn't have gotten to visit, all that kind of stuff. Ryan's like, oh, I stay at his house, like in Nashville. Anyway, super cool. We get to talk about bluegrass, so you come from bluegrass roots anyway. I'm in a good mood, and got some work to do on the mandolin workshop here today. Just want to check in, and we'll see you later. All right, howdy neighbors, changing scenes here in beautiful sunny Florida. Down here playing with Peter near Brooksville, near the Sertoma Youth Ranch. Anyway, just making another update here. And I think I left off when I had just gotten done recording Lindsay Lou and that good day. So I was able to get in touch with Phoebe Hunt, and she came over and did a great job with Life and Liberty. She's a beautiful singer, very soulful, good spiritual energy, and she did a great job kind of putting a little bit more of a country twist on Life and Liberty. But she works with veterans who have PTSD, and she does like songwriter workshops with them down in Texas, talking about hundreds of these folks, hundreds of songs getting written for healing for post-traumatic stress disorder after a war. So she was able to really connect with the subject matter of Life and Liberty. So I'm really stoked about that. And so we kind of run out of time to do the fiddles, and so she's going to do the fiddles on her own with her husband, Dominic Leslie's brother, in Nashville, and send those back. So that's really cool. Still haven't gotten Rhonda's track back, but I've been in touch with her, and hopefully that'll be happening before long. And I'm going to cruise up to Pooler, Georgia, after playing this festival tonight with Peter, well, in the morning anyway, to work with Amanda Nord, who's a great singer and songwriter that I've been working with for maybe a couple years. Her husband, Andre, is a good friend of mine. Met him at Randy Woods' a personal trainer. And so I believe she's going to do a great job on So What If You Did, Drink a Little. Then I'm going to go up to Hollywood, Clarksville, where my mom, where her dad was raised, and record all of my aunts, Claire, Arjun, Nancy, and Laurie, on a song called Grandmother's Song. And then also going to get probably at least Arjun and Nancy and Laurie on brand new gospel song, and then get hopefully Nancy to do a bunch of singing, lead on Fried Chicken, and a bunch of harmony stuff also, and then the title cut, I believe, when My Momma Sang to me, going to get Nancy to sing that. So that's the update from sunny Florida. Really just feeling so good about the progress of the album, and a total labor of love. And glad I'm getting to visit with all these folks, and just happy about how all this is coming together. All right, see you in a second. All right, howdy neighbors. It's been a while. I guess it's been maybe almost 10 days since I've checked in on the album progress. And so I was down in Florida. And so after Florida, I went up to Hollywood, Georgia, which is right down the road where my mom and her sisters grew up, and I got to visit with all four of my aunts, and at the old family land called the home place, where my granddaddy Hicks, mom's dad, was raised, and where my great grandmother Flora lived until the ripe old age of almost 90 or something like that. Anyway, so my Aunt Arjun lives in her old house, Grandmother Flora's old house, and my Aunt Nancy lives there too, and then also my Aunt Claire lives there, and then Laurie, Mom's youngest sister. So the way that the sisters goes is Murphy, Claire, Arjun, Nancy, and Laurie. And Arjun and Nancy and Laurie all played in the Red and Murphy band, and Claire sings a bit, but music was not her main interest. So I didn't have the chance to record Claire on the album because she was actually sick the day before her birthday, and she wasn't feeling well, so she didn't sing. But I did get Arjun and Nancy and Laurie on a really special song that Mom wrote for her grandparents, Grandmother Flora and Granddaddy Hicks, also known as Grandpa Grover, who is mentioned in the song that Lindsay Lou sang when How They Love to Sing, about them going to the little country church in the country. Obviously, that's from the Department of Redundancy Department. And so that was Grandpa Grover. And so his wife was Grandmother Flora, and that was her house, the old home place where Arjun lives, and where I went actually stay with Nancy. Anyway, so we recorded this special song that Mom wrote for her grandparents, her dad's folks, and it's a sweet song about how much Grandmother Flora loved to hear Grandpa Grover sing, especially bass, and so got them singing on that. Each one of the aunts, Arjun, Nancy, and Laurie, sang a verse on that, and then they all sang the last verse together, and also put Amazing Grace on the end of it, which is really sweet and special. And then we also recorded the brand new gospel song. That was a lot of fun. And okay, so the other updates are that Phoebe sent her really nice fiddle parts for Life and Liberty, and that's turned out beautifully, and I was able to play all the tracks that I had, which were 7, I guess, for Red on the way down to Randy Wood's picking party, and that was a lot of fun. And I've never seen my dad cry, ever, but I did see a little extra moisture in his eye when Life and Liberty was playing. Put some harmonies on there, and it sounded really good, and so that was really meaningful and touching to me to share that experience with him, very encouraging for the whole project. And when I was down at Randy's picking party near Savannah, I got Rhonda Vincent's track for I Ain't Domesticated Yet, and I loaded it up and played it, and it's great. And one of the things that I have encountered, as you do with this kind of work, is that people's interpretations of the songs might be a little different than how Mom originally sang them. And so I've been trying to balance the aspect of wanting the songs to have their original melodies and phrasing, along with allowing for people's own creative interpretations and their own spirits and souls to speak and shine in a comfortable, natural, intuitive way with the songs. And so some of the phrasing and melody was slightly different that Rana had sent, and so I was doing some editing in Cubase and changing things around a little bit so it reflected more of the original phrasing, because that's what I've had in my head for 40 years. And I was thinking about it, and okay, yeah, the big other news is that Casey is now involved, and she's spending so much time raising her 2 boys. She doesn't have a whole lot of spare time, along with teaching and all of her other responsibilities. But she has graciously offered to be on the project, and it actually kind of came about in a funny way. That's a story for another time, I suppose. But I think it was because of Brooke, encouraging me to maybe reach out to her or something like in there. So I reached out to her again, and I'm planning on. So I'm actually missing my cousin Mac's wedding because I'm going up to Virginia to produce an album for one of my mandolin students with David McLaughlin. And so the recording stuff's going to be set up there, a couple blocks away from Casey. And so it's going to be hopefully, and I'm also going to record Gina Furtado there singing Pell Mell Reds and Pickin' Hazel Creek, Mom's flagship signature banjo tune. That was the theme song for the Murphy Method banjo instructional videos and DVDs and streaming and audio in the beginning. Anyway, so Casey is going to record, hopefully on When My Momma Sang to Me, which is the title cut, and also sing the lead. And so I'm just about to start on that process. And I think that I was, I think I forgot to tell y'all something that I was just thinking about. But anyway, so so back to Rhonda. And so I sent Casey an MP3 of Rhonda's track, sent it with my changes to the original phrasing, going back to the original phrasing that Mom had, and then also what she had done in her own creative interpretation, the way she felt the song and all that. And I sent Casey both of the ways, and she said, basically, long story short, medium anyway, is that, the phrasing's fine, and, why hire other people to sing the songs and want them to do it the way that Mom did it, because Mom already did that. And so for me, I'm trying to be open to it and not OCD, be like, it has to be like the way that I have it in my head. I'm trying to open my heart and my mind, soul and spirit up to the new phrasing. And so I agree with her. She's very wise, older sister. And so my plan is to leave the phrasing as she's done it, and then work on it and put it all together and get Nancy to sing on it, all that kind of stuff. Nancy is coming up here this week to Charlotte, Wednesday and Thursday, and we're going to do When My Momma Sang to Me, the lead, and then also fried chicken. Really excited about that. So that's been a good area of growth for me as a producer, a person, to just let songs be a little bit more flow-oriented in that regard. And so, yes, I'm about to start on the title cut for When My Momma Sang to Me, working on the key and the tempo. And so really excited. We got 8 songs done, and there are about 14 or 15 more to go. I've also talked with Red about getting Liz Williamson involved to sing Mom's song that she wrote after Gamble Rogers passed. I think that's perfect because, the Florida connection with Liz and Gamble and all that. So she was very gracious about it, and I just love Liz and Lon and their music and their connection to Florida and just how sweet they are, and two of my favorite people in souls. So that is the long update for today, and now we're in April, so we've got less than a month to get the whole thing done, probably. I also thought about maybe pushing, not trying to aim for May 1st as the final date to have everything mixed and mastered to send to the replicators, because if I didn't, then I would have another couple weeks to keep working on it, which could possibly make the album better, and then just present Mom with one CD, on her birthday. I've also thought about what would be the most fun way to present her the project, the birthday surprise. And I thought maybe it could be cool because we have the first Red and Murphy. Well, it's really, Mom didn't want it to be a Red and Murphy billing. But we're playing B-Chord, which is a venue near Winchester where Mom and Dad live. Playing 2 shows, and this is the first time that Mom and Dad and I have played together on a show in 10 or 15 years. I think maybe the last time we all played together as a performance might have been at Uncle Mike's, Arjun's husband's, Mom's memorial service in Jacksonville. So it's very special. And so I was thinking it might be cool, as we're setting up, give the sound person, the album and have some cuts playing in the background, so she would hear her songs being played and be like, "What is that? What's going on?" And then maybe she'd be like, "What is this?" And then I could be like, "Oh yeah, we recorded an album with 22 or 23 of your greatest hits, original songs and tunes, and that's your special birthday surprise." So that seems like the most fun way to do it at the moment, and we'll see how it goes and everything. But anyway, so that's the update from sunny, beautiful springtime Florida. And here's Kai Kitty. Hi, Kai Kitty. Hello, beautiful. Birthday kiss from Kaya. Sweet girl. She grabs a bag of M&Ms and Howdy, neighbors. It is Saturday, the 14th of May, and it has been quite a journey in many different ways since the last time I checked in. I'm just about to get in my car right here and proof the entire album as it is right now, 22 songs. Got them all except for Everyday Silver and Grandpa Rock On. Hopefully those will come after a while. Anyway, it's been a very intense last month, especially the last 3 weeks. but the album is ready to be given to Mom tomorrow. I'm gonna surprise her with it. And so I'll recap the last 3 weeks. I just wanted to get this quick check-in here. I'm at the house, Shawneeland in Virginia, and very happy with how everything's turned out. It's beautiful, and I'm really excited to share it with Mama tomorrow. All right, that's all for now. It is now Sunday morning, the night after. Stayed up all night mixing till 7 in the morning. Wasn't expecting to do that, but I was fixing this stuff on my mix list, and then there's all this other stuff. Anyway, we're about to head to B-Chord, and so it's gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen. It's planning on it happening here in the next, couple hours. I'm gonna try to get my best friend Christopher Lovelace to videotape it. Really excited. Daddy helped me put together the tray cards and the graphics and print it out and all that kind of stuff. Just had a little rehearsal in here. So today's the day. Check in with her.
My Momma Sang. What? Yeah, look at this crazy thing. Look at the song. That's easy. Turn it up a little bit.
I am bringing speech. Wow.
Happy birthday, Mama. Happy birthday.
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe it. You knew about this. You didn't say a word. You didn't say a word. Is it not a play? Let you play it. Oh my gosh. You recorded all this. You made this happen. Best boy ever. Best boy ever. Oh my.
All right, so here we are back in Charlotte. Today is Tuesday, after the big weekend and the big reveal of the whole album to Mom at the B-Chord Brewery, which was a great surprise. So I had coordinated with Marty, the guy who runs the place, also does sound, to play the CD while we were, I actually thought that we had arranged for it to be played after our sound check was done on Sunday. I was gonna get my buddy Christopher Lovelace to video it and like play it after we were getting done, and so Mom would be like, what's that? And then we go over. But anyway, so Marty actually started playing it while I was smoking my pipe outside before our sound check. Caught me by surprise. I heard it playing. I ran in, I was like, oh no. And I went up to the sound booth and I saw Mom, and she was back in the back talking to some of her friends. I wasn't sure if she had heard it or not. And so I was like telling, Kayak Kitty's trying to get across the fence. No, Kayak Kitty. No. Excuse me.
Sneaker. So Grandpa rock on, Grandma singing a song. It's a song that she wrote just for you.
Well cornered, Bubba.
Hey, Kitty, can't do that. You're not supposed to do that.
Just like we said we'd all.
All right, so as I was saying, so Mom saw me at the, in front of the speakers, and I knew that she had heard the song getting played, the first title, not the title cut, I Ain't Domesticated Yet, Rhonda Vincent. And so she comes up to me, she kind of pointed at me, she comes up to the sound booth, And she's like, is that Rhonda Vincent singing my song? I was like, I don't. She's like, what is this? I was like, I don't know. Because I'd already arranged with Marty for him to have a CD there and for us to go back to the sound booth and be like, well, what is this? And then he hands Mom the CD and says, oh, this is new CD. And then she would see it and open it up and see what was going on. So we went back to the sound booth, and Marty and Mom's like, well, what is this? Then he's like, oh, this is CD, and he hands it to her, and she looked at it, and it was a beautiful moment. We got that on video. Maybe we'll splice that in right here. And she was just so happy, and she said she was freaking speechless, which just meant the world to me. And she was just sweet, big hugs, and so it was just super fun. Talked about it a little bit, it was before our set, and we played our set, and they played the music in between the sets, which was great. She was like, just happy, and it was beautiful, magical memory I will never forget. And then so our sets went really well. My mom's stuff was really going over well with audiences on Friday and Sunday. A bunch of her students came on Sunday, which was sweet. And so then the next day, yesterday, Monday morning, we listened to the whole thing. Sat there in the living room at the house in Shawneeland, listened to the whole thing, and kind of talked a little bit about it. Talked about the collaboration between Casey and me, with her helping match up the singers with the songs. So we had the songs, and then she, I had the singers in mind. She kind of, matched them up there in a very great, intuitive way, beautiful. And then also, so one of the main lessons, there's so many interesting things about this whole journey, so many synchronicities, so many connective things, so much healing happening. One of the things that I think I talked a little bit about with you was either trying to get people to sing it like Mom, or let them kind of do their own thing, their own interpretation. And as we talked about with the Rhonda thing, it was on Casey's advice to let people do their own thing. Mom's already done her thing, and we don't need to try to recreate that because it would be impossible anyway. But I share the texts between Casey and me about Chris and Scott Benson wanting to do Miss Nora's Blues a little bit slower. I haven't even told that story here yet. Anyway, she wanted to slow it down considerably. It's about 150. She wanted to slow it down to 115 or 120. And I just wasn't sure because it's a breakdown, the way that Mom and Dad recorded, the way Mom wrote it. That's what's very exciting, awesome. I love it, that speed. And so I thought about it, asked Casey about it, because I was like, I don't know if Mom's gonna like the tempo slower. And so Casey, wrote me this really nice 1, 2, 3, 4 text message saying, number one, Mom's going to love it any way you do it. And I can't remember what they were exactly, but the gist of it was trust Kristen. If she said it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be cool. And so then I wrote Kristen and told her, I kind of bristle at the thought of changing things because it's what I've known and loved for 40 years, and it's so close to home and all that. But I told her, what Casey had told me, trust Kristen, and that was one of the hugest, perhaps the biggest lesson for the whole thing was, once again, trust women, listen to women, don't try to micromanage women, let them, as Christopher Levy's written in his song, let her be as she please. And so showing Mom those texts, my text with Casey, my text to which I copied Kristen, the text I wrote, the email I wrote to Kristen, in the text with Casey. So she read that, and she said that was as good as the album itself. So that really meant a lot to me. And so there's so much more to share, but I just want to check in here after the big reveal and say that it was a 100% success, super, super fantastic, beautiful, lots of love. And Mom said she felt love, which is the whole point of it all, So, yay, and thank you for joining me on the journey here. I believe there'll probably be some more, and I don't even know how all this is going to get put together, but we'll figure all that out. And in the meantime, we'll keep working on the building. Hello, neighbors. It is August 28th, and it has been such a beautiful journey, and I'm so grateful. I'm in Shawneeland up in Virginia. Today is the day of the Beautiful Women Festival at B Chord, and Mom's headlining tonight at 7:15 with Casey and Laurie and Nancy, and so stoked about that. So this is probably going to be the last entry into this video diary journal of the making of the album process. And there's been a lot that's happened since the last check-in, which I guess was just right around when the album got released, and after that and everything. My mom had a birthday. She loves the album. So excited about that. There were a few more things that happened, some challenges to overcome. It's beautiful, and it turned out just the way it should be. So, we're hoping to have the album pressed to be able to have the physical copies for today. But the pressers in Nashville, their printing machine went down last week, and so we don't have the physical copies that are made from the replicator in hand today. Maybe next week they'll be able to get shipped out to Virginia. Anyway, the album is on Pandora and Spotify and Amazon Music. I think Deezer, I'm not sure what that is, but it's because I'm a geezer myself, or at least halfway there. Anyway, it's available for download, and that's super exciting. And making this video has been really fun, the whole way. And just want to say thanks to Mama, and thanks to all the ancestors for all the support. Thanks to the Holy Spirit, the Goddess of Eternity, and all the family, and all the beautiful women that were involved, all the men that were involved. And I don't want to leave anybody out. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Brooke me for all the support through the process. Life, it's complicated, and balancing everything and curveballs and learning to hit the curve and all that kind of stuff is what it's all about. But here we are, and it's a beautiful day, and we're going to the Beautiful Women Festival, and aunties are here, and Casey's going to be there, and cousin, and so anyway, just super excited, and might get Mom to check in here and give a little video update, just so she can say a word or two about everything. And I don't know exactly what else to say here. Hello. But I'm so grateful for the universe wanting it to happen, and it happening, and just so much love and joy and celebration of Mom and her amazing soul and spirit, and artistry as one of the very greatest of all time. And I'm really hoping that and believing that a new generation of women and men, everybody, are going to be able to connect with her music and be inspired like I have in my whole entire life. It's been so empowering for me to grow up with Mom and Dad and all their music, and aunties, and just finding my own way into the creativity. She's just such an empowering, uplifting force in that direction. So, forward-thinking and pioneering with her, wisdom, especially with regard to feminism and balancing the equation of the genders, and all the work that she's done, advocating and promoting women in bluegrass in the most beautiful ways. It hasn't been an easy thing to do, for women, previous generations. She's got the book, Pretty Good for a Girl, on Amazon. Check that out. Beautiful book. It's the history of women in bluegrass, so make sure you check that out. But just so proud of her, and so grateful to be her son, and grateful for this day when we get to celebrate her and her music and everything. So, with all that being said, just want to say thanks for being on the ride here, sending love to you and yours, and let's keep on trucking, everybody, and hope you enjoy the album, Songs of Murphy Hicks Henry, and all the beautiful energy in the songs. And so there we are. Om Shri Kli Mahalakshmi Soha. Soha! Woo! Hey, we did it!
Yes, he played and sang them all in the bars and old dance halls, in the Shenandoah Valley long ago.
So here we are, and the album is done.
Yeah, it is done.
and just wanted to invite you to say anything that you wanted to about it or anything else you want to talk about.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is I love the album so much. I love the idea. I love the whole surprise. It just was the biggest surprise of my life, I guess, ever.
Woohoo!
And how you kept it a secret from me with the sisters and Casey getting involved and so many women involved, and I had no inkling of what was going on. It was a complete and utter surprise. You know, and I know that you wanted it to be, you know, just all the women singing for me, but you know, as it worked out after I got the CD, and we wanted to include one or more of my songs, the Grandpa Rock On song, and you were trying to think of how we could get that on there. And Sally Jones was originally going to do it, if you remember, and then she got sick and couldn't do it. And of course, there's always production. You're always thinking about how much time do we have? We have to get it done. And I think we kind of said it maybe kind of at the same time. I'm going like, well, I could sing it. And you're going like, wow, I was just thinking the same thing.
Perfect.
You know?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know, and I'd never ever thought of really re-recording any of my songs because I'd sung it before. But it just seemed kind of appropriate to have, you know, one of the last songs on the CD be a song that I sang, and that you would be in the studio producing it. You know, because when I wrote the song originally, you were about maybe 3 or 4 years old. You know, and I was very young, and I was writing a song in the future, like when. You know, when I was a grandmother, I was writing about that, and now I am a grandmother, and here, you know, my amazingly talented and handsome son is making this CD for me, and we're going to be in the recording studio or in our house, and you're going to be producing it.
That's my favorite song of yours too.
Oh, well, thank you. It is one of my favorite songs. I don't know if I have actually a favorite song. I have to think about it.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate to be gifted with some really good songs. You know, the fact that you knew all about the technology, and I'd never recorded in that way before, because when we recorded our albums, it was always mostly live. We were singing live into the microphones, and there were no computers to fix all the things. We could fix some things. So the idea that we could, you know, I could sing it 3 or 4 times, and you could pick the best parts of it and sort of cobble it together and make it sound like I had done that in the studio all by myself was just remarkable. And so it was so much fun doing it. I would go in the studio and do that again.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Maybe not right now. But that was fun, and then it worked out. You know, just to be, we'd make it the last song on the album, or
Next to last.
the next to the last song on the album. What's the last song? I forget.
Let's see. Grandmother's song.
Grandmother's song.
Yeah.
And
No, maybe it is the last song. Sorry.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, it seemed kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
To
That's the
have
last song.
that, be the last song on the album. So, yeah.
Totally. Yay. Well, anything else you want to say?
You know, humongous thanks to all the women that performed on the album. Your interpretations of my songs were wonderful. I'm honored, you know, beyond belief that you would do this for me, you know, for a birthday present. And I just feel so loved by the women of the bluegrass community. So big thanks to all of you.
And you are so loved, Mama.
I feel it. I feel it. I feel it in my soul.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you. Morning, when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Yeah. It was awesome. Perfect ending.